Hi everyone and welcome to Let's Play World of Warcraft, episode 2. This is our very first episode that is a full-length episode with live commentary. The rest were narrated from a script. This is a bit different, it's live. So you've just logged into the game. The first thing you're going to want to do is take a look at your interface options. So press escape and go to interface. And the first thing you're going to want to do is go to display and make sure that all the things here are to your liking. The next thing is status text. I like to put on the player, the pet, the party, the target, alternate resource and experience bar text, and no display percentage. What it does is, as you can see, without that your HP is just a bar unless you hover over it. If you put it on you can see the numbers. As a hunter we have health, and some classes have mana or rage, but hunters have focus. So focus builds up over time. It's similar to a rogue's energy. Rogues have energy which works in a similar fashion. This is not how hunters used to be. They used to have mana. And what's worth noting as a hunter is your weapon, your main weapon, your bow or crossbow, etc., does not require ammo. That's something else that used to be the case in the past. You used to have to buy ammunition, but now you don't. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set up my action bars the way that I like them. So I like to put Arcane Shot, which is your first skill you get, about there. And then what I like to do is go to the action bars and put bottom left, bottom right, right and right bar on. Because what that does is it gives you more room to put your skills in, so you can put your skill wherever you like. As an orc I have the racial skill Blood Fury, which increases attack power by 8 at the moment. The higher level I get, the more it will increase in the last 15 seconds. I like to put that somewhere where I can easily get to it. It's not part of the main bar, or putting it as number 1. For now I'll just sit it there. I've also got, as a hunter, some pet abilities, such as Call Pet, because hunters get a pet. In my case it's a boar, because I'm an orc. You can choose a different pet later and revive pet, so if the pet dies you can bring it back to life. If you right click the pet you can give him a name. Call my one Bacon. And it's worth noting that once you've given it a name you can't rename it. Okay. So you're standing here in the middle of Durotar and you don't know what the hell you're meant to be doing. Well, firstly, let's take a look at the controls for a bit. To move forward, use W and hold it. To move backwards, use S and hold it. To turn left or right, use D and A. Right and left. D, A. You can move the camera by holding down the mouse button and swirling the mouse around, so dragging it. You can zoom in and out with the trackpad. And you can also use the right mouse button to move around as well. Now you know how to move, you need to learn how to jump. Just pressing spacebar jumps. You can jump freely as much as you want. Okay? So you can jump up on things and collect things. Now the next thing I want to introduce you to is the radar at the top right of the screen. That's a miniature version of the world map. If you press M on the keyboard, the actual world map will appear. First time you see it, it will probably appear full screen like this. To give you an idea of the scope of, well, this is the area we're in now. The Valley of Trials, and it's part of this area, which is Durotar. If we zoom out, it's part of this area, and there's all these other areas. But that's not all. If we zoom out again, you've also got all these areas. You've got all these areas. You've got all these areas, which I haven't been to, so they're not really displaying much. And lastly, you've got these areas as well, so there's heaps of areas in the game. Now, we'll minimise the map by that. Press M to make it disappear. Pressing C brings up your character pane. This shows you your inventory, what you've got equipped. At the moment I've got a cloth vest, I've got a worn spear, doesn't do much to avoid damage, I've got a worn short bow, hardly any damage, trapper's boots, and thug pants. So what we're going to be doing now is doing some quests so that we can get better equipment and start leveling up. Okay. Now, to check your inventory, you can either click down here on your bag, or hold shift and press B, or just press B. Your Hearthstone is the only item you start off with, and it returns you to your starting point. When you go visit an inn, you can set your Hearthstone there, so when you use it, you automatically warp to the inn that you've saved in. Now, it does have a 30-minute cooldown, meaning you can only use it once every 30 minutes. Okay. Now, we're going to look at completing our very first quest. So we're going to go up to this guy, Kaltunk, right click him, and he'll give us a quest. Finally you were of age, blah blah blah. You can read that if you like, but the bottom line is you need to speak with Gornek. you get 40 experience. Now Gornek happens to be just over here. So we speak to him, and he says blah blah blah. Complete that, we get our 40 experience, and then we get our first quest. He says, I believe you'll be of more use to us slaughtering the boars you'll find in the farms to the north and northeast of here. The quest objective is slaughter 6 model boars, and when you do, you can choose a reward. I'll be choosing the belt because it's leather, and hunters can wear leather. Some classes can't. I can't use mail at the moment, that's why it's shaded out. I'll accept the quest, and I'll head over to start killing. So I'm just moving forward with W, jumping around. Now you'll notice on your mini-map, on your radar, the area where the boars are found is highlighted in blue. Another relatively new feature in WoW that helps you complete quests a lot easier. Now, because I'm a hunter, I can use a ranged attack to fire my bow, so if I've got it at number 5, so if I hit 5 on my keyboard, he'll start firing. My pet will automatically go in and start attacking as well. You can't fire a bow at short range, so that's why he finished off his attack with the polearm. Right-clicking the dead enemy will give you a chance to loot it. Looting means collecting the items that are left behind. Now, basically you just go over here and you kill the boars. That's the first thing you want to do, is go over and kill the boars. And you've got 2 options here. You can either just kill the 6, which there's nothing wrong with doing that, or you can kill a couple more and get your first level. That's what I'm going to do. So, I've killed 4 already. You can see my experience bar building up. Now, I don't do very much damage at the moment, being level 1, but I've got to kill 1 more boar to complete the quest. Okay, he's dead, so that's all the boars completed. Now, I'm meant to go back and return the quest in, but what I'm going to do is just kill a couple more boars so that we get to level 2. Just to make our lives a little bit easier, because as you can see, I'm nearly leveled. So 1 more kill and I should get it. And then the skill that I'm using, by the way, is Arcane Shot. It costs 25 focus. We just leveled up to level 2. Okay. You need a ranged weapon to use it, and it deals arcane damage at 5 to 40 yards. So your pet automatically levels up as you do. So as far as I know, I'm not sure because it didn't used to, but I think that now it does. I'm not entirely sure on that though. Maybe someone can correct me in the comments. Yeah, we're going to go and hand this quest in. So we've just got our first level, so that's pretty cool. So our health has gone up, our attack power and stuff has gone up. You press C in your character pane, and then left click. There's a little menu pops out. It explains to you range, attack power, DPS. It's all the information you need. You can also check if you've got any titles, which are names that come in front of your name that you get for doing certain achievements. And you can also create equipment sets. We'll look into achievements, equipment sets and stuff as they come to pass. For now though, just hand the quest in. Take the leather belt if you're a hunter. If you're not a hunter, take the best you can. So the order is cloth, leather, mail at the moment. There is also plate, but that won't be around for some time. Now he's given me another quest to kill North Watch Scouts. And I can see on my minimap there's another exclamation mark, so this guy's obviously got something for me to do as well. So, obtain 6 cactus apples. Now to start tracking the cactus apple one instead of North Watch invaders, you can click that and it will show you where they are. So they're actually behind me. But I'm going to go and do this quest first. And there's some apples around here anyway, on the trees. So these enemies fire at range, but that's good because it means they don't come in too close. Very good for a hunter. Now you notice over time when you're not in combat, your health regenerates. So if you need to run away from enemies and stuff and get out of combat, if your health's low, you can do that. There's an option. Certainly won't be needed at this point in time. Now, I'll go up and grab this apple. I'll kill this guy first. Let my pet finish him off. So there's the item, we've got 1 of 6. There was 1 back there, wasn't there? So I'll get that one in a minute. So we're just running around the mountains, completing the first couple of quests. It's not too bad, you level up pretty quickly at this level. When you're a high level, it takes a lot longer between levels. But this is certainly not too bad. Now, we've got one more Northwatch Scout to slay. Okay, he should be done for, and then I'll get the apples as well. Or some of the apples at least. Now I'll kill the enemies that I see along the way just for the experience. And I'm starting on this server as a new account, so I don't have any gold or anything. I'm in the same position you'd be if you started the game from scratch. Except I've done this a few times, so I know where certain things are, which may be a bit of a challenge. Certainly if you're doing it for the first time, but hopefully together we can work this out. So I am collecting as much copper as I can. Copper is the currency. When you get 100 copper, you get 1 silver. You get 100 silver, you get 1 gold. Some items cost tens of thousands of gold, so we're a long way off being rich. But that's okay, because as long as our money supply is going up, that's good. There's nothing that we really need to buy at this level anyway. Okay, so we'll just kill these guys on our way through to try and get the rest of the apples. We need 3 more. So notice that my pet took the aggro that time. It means that aggro means who the enemy is attacking. So my pet was attacking my pet instead of me, so that's much better because I can revive my pet. I can't revive myself. I'll get transported to the graveyard if I die, which I'm sure you'll see eventually, because sooner or later I'll pass on in some battle. But if your pet dies, you can just revive it. Cost focus, and I think you have to be out of combat as well. And I'm just looking around, see if there's any more apples around here. I can see one in the distance. And certainly killing these guys along the way is not a bad thing to do, because that doesn't take very long, and it means you're going to be that little bit further up. By the time you leave this area, you're going to be a little bit higher, a little bit closer to the next level. So, may as well make the most of it. I think one more kill, and I'll be level 3. So this didn't take very long at all, did it? To get level 3. Not that we're there yet, but we're not far off. That's my 5th apple, and this will be my 6th apple. Right. Okay, so that's that quest done. I'll just kill this guy so I can get level 3. There we go, level 3, and it'll tell you in this bottom area, which is the chat screen, that congratulations, you've reached level 3. New ability available, Steady Shot. So, but to get it, I have to go to my trainer, which I'll be asked to do in a minute anyway. So, all I've got to do is, so it tells you what Steady Shot is. A ranged cast time shot that deals damage. Steady Shot also generates focus. I can use other abilities such as Arcane Shot. So you get used to the rotation of what skills you use in what order and stuff as you play the game through. But for now, I'm just going to hand these quests in. I plan on getting to about level 4 in this episode, so... there's a leather vest, so that's the best item I can get from my reward. And now I've got a little bit more armour. So if I go here, down to defense, armour is 59, it reduces physical damage taken by 8.26%. If I take the vest off, armour drops to 33, and physical damage down to 4.8, so it's doubling my damage reduction. Even though it's only crappy items. Item quality comes in various types, and you can tell the item quality by the writing, the colour of the writing. If the writing's grey, the item's very poor quality, and it's pretty much only useful to sell off for gold, or silver, or copper, whatever you may get. Next is white, which is an ordinary item. They're quite common items that have some use, but it's usually not very good. Next is green. Greens are somewhat rare and usually very useful. And there's blues, which are very rare, which are even better than greens. And then there's purples, which are epics. And epics are extremely rare. Well, when you're leveling up, they're extremely rare. When you get to the maximum level and start gearing up to go on raids and things like that, you will be wearing full epic stuff. But for the moment, I've got some things to hand in. So I just got a quest that says read the edge parchment and speak to Karanisha. Karanisha happens to be the hunter trainer, so I'm not going to bother about reading it. You can if you like. Click complete the quest, and then gives me some experience, and then he tells me that he's going to teach me steady shot. So the first thing you got to do is learn it. It costs 57 bronze, so luckily we've got that. And then what we're going to do is practice it on these dummies. So I'm going to move it across to number 2, because it's easier for me. And we're just going to fire it 5 times. Very straightforward. And see that my focus isn't going down. If I use my arcane shot, my focus goes right down. And if I use steady shot, my focus increases. As soon as you've done it 5 times, go over and hand the quest in. Now I got some braces now for wrist, 8 armor, so give me a little bit. I'm still in combat. This is because my pet's still attacking. There we go. That works. So now my defense is up to 67 armor, which is 9.28% reduction. Okay, so we've learnt steady shot now, and we've got to hand in a quest back to Golgar again, which is this guy up here, Galgar, sorry, and he's going to give me another quest, I think, maybe. He gives me an item which is Fruit Cactus Apple Surprise. It says it restores 51 health over 18 seconds, so it's not really very good, but you must remain seated while eating, so you can't do it in combat, and you can't stand up. If you spend at least 10 seconds eating it, you will become well fed and gain 2 stamina and 2 spirit for 15 minutes. So that's a pretty good buff for this level. So I'm just going to sit down and eat it, and you'll see that while I'm eating, when it goes down to when I've been eating for 10 seconds, I'll get a buff, which is something that increases my power. There we go. So there's cheese, well fed, stamina and spirit increased by 2 for 15 minutes. Now this little thing is to do with the seasonal thing that's on at the moment, the Midsummer Festival. Don't worry too much about that if that's not there. And if it is, it just means that you've got a chance of doing a little bit of fire damage to the enemy. It's just like... Now I'm going to sell off Tough Jerky, because that's of no use, and this Cloth Vest, because that's of no use as well. Okay, so we're nearly... Well, we're past halfway into level 4, so that didn't take too long. Now, I've picked up the quest Sting of the Scorpid, where I have to get 8 Scorpid Worker Tails, and Lazy Peons, where I have to wake up 4 peons. Peons being sort of orcs that do grunt work. Now, you'll notice if I attack a pig now that I'm level 3, I'll actually be able to kill him a lot quicker, because now I'm higher level than it. So I've got more chance of doing critical damage, which does between 1.5 and 2 times damage depending on your class and the way that you're set up. So these Scorpid Workers are my level 3, so they've got 71 HP. Notice how their names are in yellow. This means they're neutral mobs. They won't attack me unless I attack them first. If they were green, they'd be friendly, and I usually can't attack friendly things. There are certain circumstances when you can, but generally you can't. And if they were red, they're hostile, which means that if they see me, they'll start attacking. Now, when you first start off in the game, you don't have to worry about that. All the enemies in the early parts are neutral. This didn't used to be the case, actually. Once you got to about level 4, you started to encounter some nasty enemies that would attack you. But they changed it until you actually leave this area, so about level 6 when that happens. So I'm just collecting it. They also drop bug juice, which is, as I said before, a grey item. So it's just worth selling for 1 copper, so it's not really worth it. Now, this guy that's asleep is one of the lazy peons, so let's wake him up. Okay, I'll go back to work, Crave. Okay, good. So that's 1 of 4. Still killing the scorpions, because I need 4 more tails. You can move around and jump around just to keep the enemy at bay. Keep him off your tail, sort of thing. You can't while you're casting steady shot. So you'll notice in my rotation I use arcane shot until I've got no focus, then I use steady shot. Now I'm seeing how my focus is regenerating. Because it's not full, I'm going to start off with a steady shot, then spam arcane shot, keep pressing it over and over again until I run into focus, and then if the enemy was still alive, I'd do another 1 or 2 steady shots to get my focus back. You've really only got the 2 powers at the moment. What I'll do is, though, to show you, I'll use my racial, which can be used once every 2 minutes, and at the moment increases my attack power by 11 for 15 seconds. So it's called Blood Fury. And there we go, on level 4 already. And there's a new ability, Track Beasts. Shows the location of all nearby beasts on the minimap. Now, there's a peon over there, but he's working, he's not asleep. He will go to sleep eventually, but at the moment, I'll just leave him and go and hand in this quest. If I see anyone sleeping along the way, I'll wake them up. But I'm not specifically looking for them at the moment, because I know what quest comes next, because I've done this many times. Now, go through here. Don't have to go exactly the way that I do, but head back to the camp and talk to Gornek. So he's Gornek, so the other one was Galga. Right, I know their names are all very similar, all very strange orc names. So continue, and I get leather breeches, so pants. So it's going to give me, my current pants have 11 armor, these ones have 23 armor. That puts my armor up to 79, 9.65% reduction. So now, because I don't want my bags to get full, because I've only got limited space, there's more space for more bags, but I haven't got more bags at the moment. I'm going to go here and sell off some of the stuff by right-clicking it. So stuff that I don't want anymore, grey stuff. There we go. Now, another quest has popped up now that I've completed that one. I've got to kill 8 vile familiars. I'm going to go over here and pick up this quest as well. Now I've got 2 silver and 40 copper at the moment. He wants me to find someone in the Valley of Trials, Hanazua. We will do that shortly, but for now, I'm going to go to the Hunter Trainer and train Track Beasts. If you press P, Spellbook opens and you can see all your abilities. Some abilities you have to press, others are passive, so they just work. So weapon skills passive, so I can use those weapons. Axe specialization increases expertise with fist weapons, axes, and two-handed axes by 3. It's all part of being an orc. That's a passive. Command deals damage dealt by pets increased by 5%. Duration of stun effects reduced by an additional 15%. And the languages that I speak, Orcish. Okay, so we know what Blood Fury does. We just bought Track Beasts, which was part of, I don't know, where did it go? Should be part of survival, I thought. No. Oh, that's right, I just remembered. It used to be in the spellbook, but now they've changed it, and it's up here. On the minimap, we put Track Beasts, and it will show all beasts on the minimap. They've changed that since in the last year or so, and I haven't really been playing much since then, so my apologies. So yes, we've got level 4, we've certainly come a long way in this first 20 or so minutes. We'll leave it there for this episode. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any suggestions or criticisms, whatever, please post comments. Feel free to subscribe. That would be great. The more people that watch me through this journey, the more I don't feel so alone in the game, and the more likely I am to continue. So, yeah, tell your friends. I'm Crave, signing out. Till the next episode. Ciao.